Yo, what is going on, y'all? Veer up here. Today, what we got going on? Today was Community Day at NBA 2K20. I'm pretty sure it was in Los Angeles, and y'all, I did not get an invite this year once again. Kind of understandable, but 2K, do not sleep on my 2K21. Maybe send me an invite. But today, what we're going to be talking about, there has been so much news that has been leaked, so much news that has been dropped about my career, the My Career storyline, the gameplay, all of the above. We're going to look at the leaks. We're going to look at this Twitter handle that I found. Shout out to my friend Mark, by the way. Shout out to this page. Gives amazing content. I highly recommend that you guys follow it. We're going to look at all the leaks from today, from all the content creators that were invited to it. And just an FYI, 2K isn't allowing them to release content in a vlog or anything up till next week. So we're going to have to wait to see all that, and the demo comes out Wednesday. Without further ado, y'all, let's break into the news. So to start things off, guys, like I said, if you want the best NBA 2K20 insider news, make sure to follow this account, NBA 2K20 Leaks and News. My friend Mark showed me it is the plug. I'm pretty sure it has tweet notifications from like all the iconic YouTubers and devs part of 2K. So I highly recommend that you guys follow them. We're going to start off with their latest tweet. Juice was obviously invited to Community Day. So a lot of the tweets that they pinned or that they quoted are going to be from him. Starting off, it is going to take around 185,000 to get to an 85 overall this year, which is a little less than $50 if you're looking at the scheme of things to buy VC. Scrolling down, which honestly is pretty interesting. It's around the same price that it has been in recent years for the past 4 or 5 years for my career. So nothing has really changed there. Next, we have from Juice. Don't see the neighborhood. The My Career cutscenes and games you kind of play are long. Might be 3+ hours before you even get into the NBA. This is a huge difference compared to last year, where even in the prelude they gave you the chance, once the full game came out, to skip any of the backstory, any of the play in China, and you could just go straight to the NBA. I don't know if they'll be giving you that option this year, but it seems like there's a lot more in-depth cutscenes, which we'll be talking about throughout the rest of the tweets. But that's very interesting. Next, this is about the upgrade system. Juice said, and you can upgrade what you want. First to like 2K16, I believe it was. So I can max out my 3-point rating after my first game, etc. Then you just grind to upgrade points, not cap breakers. Big W for 2K, which I think honestly is a huge W. Getting the opportunity to select what you want to max out and then getting the chance to upgrade points, I think that is a major W, and it gives you a lot more customization into the game and lets you create your own type of player and your own type of archetype. Next is from Hank. He said, I'm pretty sure all spot-up builds will be able to shoot very well in 2K20 because of the badge/upgrade system. I see this as well. Troy Dan tweeted, 2K20 definitely got a whole new level of building. Players can't show anything though till next week, so no vlog, RIP. So obviously, like I said at the beginning, obviously there's gonna be stuff that leaks. We already saw a picture of the home screen, what it looks like in 2K20. But as for a vlog, as for a full video, you won't be seeing those roll out until probably next Wednesday or Thursday. Next is by Subhan. He was talking about the big man will be rewarded. Sure, a fast player may be able to get past them. However, you better believe when it comes to manhandling on the post or getting an offensive rebound, game over. So obviously there's been moments in recent 2K20s, or not in recent 2Ks, where post cheese has been hella OP, especially when you have takeover. If you look at takeover in 2K19, how OP that was, or when you unlock your grand badge in 2K17. It wasn't at OP for bigs, but even last year, y'all post scores were OP. Next, you can dive on the ball and pass it off the ground ASAP before going out of bounds. I think that's a major W. So say a loose ball is going out of bounds, you can actually dive and throw it back in bounds, which I don't know if they'll have to have like an athletic badge to unlock or something like that, or if you have to be real quick with the buttons. I think that is major improvement and making the game more realistic, because we saw so many times you can obviously dive for the ball, but if you look at past games, especially in my team, where you would dive for a ball that's going out of bounds, you would just dive on the ball and follow it to out of bounds, and it would be the other team's ball. Or if you're good at calling timeouts real quick. Mid-game, it shows badges progressions, which I think is such an amazing attribute. Because I felt, even during last year when I was grinding offline. I really want to know how many more shots I need to get this badge up to gold. How many points that I need to get this badge upgraded or to the next level. So I think that's a major W. That will definitely add, you know, give you an opportunity to see how much more you need of something in the game. So you don't have to just play the whole game and hope that you did enough of this, enough of that, and got enough points to upgrade to a silver or gold or Hall of Fame badge. Next, speeds up the release of all jump shots, including post fades. Quick draw badge will speed up the release on all jump shots, including post fades. Everyone can get this badge. Let's see, this one is your attributes have to fit for a certain takeover to be an option in 2K20. Okay, there we go. Alright, so this kind of makes more sense. Your attributes have to fit a certain takeover to be an option, but you can select which one your primary. Okay, that makes sense. I was kind of questioning that because obviously we looked at 2K19. There was a takeover specific for each archetype or each type of player. So I didn't know what the takeover criteria was for this year, so that obviously clears a lot of things up. You literally get to test your My Player before you go live with him on My Career. I will talk to you guys more about that because I think there's more tweets describing it. Spam dribbling, which is gone, which is kind of tough, but it is a W. VC icon looks different. Also notice they are upgrading levels. Oh, okay. That makes sense. Okay. Levels meaning like the amount of levels that you can buy for attributes to upgrade your player or like get a max cap. Pure point forwards are gone this year, which I think is kind of shocking. We saw a couple leaked photos of what the archetype system might look like to create a player, and we didn't know if those are real or not. Obviously, those aren't real because one of the selections was a point forward or a pure point forward, like a Ben Simmons type player. That was honestly going to be my type of player that I was going to create, so I don't know what the criteria or what that's going to look like for a player that I want to be like Ben Simmons. But obviously, you can customize a lot more this year. This one says, this year when trying to steal the spam button, instead of you always just getting the foul call, it felt like the ball handler gets an advantage and can drive past you. So I think that's a huge deal because you can't just spam the steal button this year, which is kind of tough for me because me personally, I've kind of been known with my friends to cheese with that, just spamming the square button and waiting till I get a steal or waiting for a bump steal. I did that so much in my team last year, y'all. And the spamming last year for steals was kind of over the top. The steals last year were kind of OP at a level where it just wasn't fair, especially if you were a solid defender, a solid lockdown. Hank said dribbling is much harder in 2K20. We heard many different rumors about this. My career cutscenes look amazing. Juice said he's going to upload before the demo drops. I don't know how he's going to do that. Right here it says Juice said that cutscenes are a lot like 2K11's My Career. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I do not remember that. I started playing 2K like a lot by 2K13-14. So, poster items in this game are incredible. We did hear Zion was part of the animation process this year. He is actually part of the 2K team now officially. He signed with them. So, Ronnie even said that and so did Mike Wang, that they have some of Zion's block and dunk animations in the game, which I think is a major W. I mean, you look at some of Zion's highlights last year that he did, being a part of Duke, the block he had against Virginia when the Duke was shooting a corner three, some of the dunks he had, like the one he had against Syracuse. I mean, imagine those type of animations in a game for like a slashing type player of Zion's size. Like, that just sounds hell OP. Create your own attribute caps, we heard about that. Low tweet out, based on how many badges and new badges there are, plus everything you can customize, there's honestly probably hundreds of different builds that are possible. I don't think any two people could have the exact same build. I think that is the best tweet that we have heard from today so far, looking through all these tweets, just hearing the amount of customization that's in this game and the amount of thought that you have to make into creating your player. Look at past years. So many people made a slasher, so many people made a shot creator, so many people made a stretch big. Now you really have to take in that time. Like I said in one of the previous tweets, it might take up to 3 hours before you actually get into the NBA. And you have so much time in the demo to test out any type of build, and we'll talk about that later. There's a back tweet talking about that. Play shard offensive threat is a yes. It will be named offensive threat. The type of archetype it's technically called. Hesitations are good. Juice tweeted out again, a pure playmaker / point forward running with a two-way lock might be OP depending on the people and the badges that apply. Interesting. Bro, this My Career storyline. Fam, I'm interested to see it. Because, yes, the last My Career storyline that I was really interested in was 2K15 when Spike Lee did it. I thought that... Was that 15 or 16? It might have been 16. But that storyline that Spike Lee helped direct, I thought was the best storyline in my opinion. Obviously, the recent 2Ks, 18 and 19, I didn't really care too much for it. But if they can get Spike Lee working on this storyline, I'd be really impressed. Or someone of that criteria. Shout out to Spike Lee one time. Choose extremely wisely on your badges. Here's an important one. Juice tweeted out, bro, locks are OP. You can see people's success shot rate from the spots they standing at. Like they don't need the ball. You can see if they're good from that spot or not. Okay, I don't know what he means by that. Like, if someone is off the ball on offense, can you see, like, a red, yellow, or green circle around them stating that they have, like, a good percentage from there or not? If that is true, just wow. That is amazing. Like, because even slashers in the past recent 2Ks have had a consistent three-pointer if you know how to knock down a good jumper with a slasher. And so if you see it's a green circle around them saying that they're a good shooter, they have a good percentage from that spot on the court, you're obviously going to play up on them. But if you see they have like a red percentage somewhere in like the 50s or lower on the top of the key, you're obviously going to sag off. So if that is the case, y'all, oh my god. Oh my god. You have to use both analog 6-ball crazy dribble move combos, which is interesting this year. I heard a lot of rumors, especially from Mike Wang, that the left stick is very important this year and dribbling. Juice tweeted out the two-way slasher is disgusting. Juice also tweeted out ISO God's really going to be godly in 2K. Somebody teach me how to dribble. I'm on your boat, bro. Cole the Man, TW, pure playmakers might be the wave this year. Yeah, I'm hearing playmakers are god tier. They get insane badges. I heard there's over like 80 plus badges that are created for this game. iPod King Carter said, so we are testing NBA 2K20 My Player Builder today. I can't say much. Expect if you want to test a 99 overall build, will feel like you can for free. So this is huge news. What I was talking about earlier was that you won't have to spend a penny on the demo. You will be able to test out any amount of badges, any overall for your player that you create before you go through the prelude or the storyline or whatnot. So I think the reason why they released it 2 weeks earlier before the game instead of just like a week is so you get the opportunity to test out as many builds as possible and you find the one that you enjoy the most. Because like Los tweeted, there are so many different builds and so many different options with all the caps, with all the attribute caps, with all the badges that you can create. It's going to be really tough to find someone just like you compared to past 2Ks where like the amount of different players that you could have, like last year was, I think, like, I don't even know. You know, I'm not gonna do math, but my point is, it's gonna be rare to find a player just like you, like very rare. And the fact that you don't have to spend any VC and you can try out any tier of player of the player that you want to build is such a W this year. The fact that 2K actually did that and didn't worry about microtransactions, you know, possibly taking a dip this year, which is really skeptical. Like, that is so like an unlike 2K thing. Whoop doody whoop dribble moves are back in 2K20, one of the most OP. I never learned how to do it, but it's one of the most OP moves, especially in 2K19. I think it was, yeah, in 2K19. Yeah. Juice said you can select whatever takeover off. Wait, you can select your takeover off rip since your player can do more this year. There's also a new takeover in this game. CEO Gucci guaranteed you're going to take an hour or two building your player. It's too much information to take in 2K20. Yeah, so that's huge also. Normally it'd take maybe like 5 to 10 minutes, maybe 20 to just make your player. He's saying this could be an hour to 2 hour process just to create your player. So there are so many customizations, so many specifics that you have to make about your player. Like I said, like what Lo said earlier, there is so much individuality in this game in which you will not see the same fucking player in the park, which is so much more realistic. I mean, like, how do you define Russell Westbrook in just 2 archetypes? or just a dual archetype system? How do you define LeBron James in a dual archetype system? How do you define Kawhi Leonard in a dual archetype system? Some of these great NBA players, and I think Ronnie's goal and the devs' goal with this game was to create a game where you could make a superstar type player, where you're not just marginalized to create someone that can just do two things good, or just make one player that's really good at just one thing. And so creating like a superstar type player like how there are in the NBA. I mean, you look at Anthony Davis. He's a really good post player. He's a really good stretch big. He's a really good defender. I mean, there are so many different archetypes that you can define Anthony Davis as. Defining Anthony Davis in just a dual archetype system is so disrespectful. And so they're giving us the opportunity to make a one-of-a-kind type player, like how that used to be an archetype for players like LeBron, like Michael Jordan, like Magic Johnson in past 2Ks. Archetypes all have names because your players are more dynamic. There will be a limit to the number of badges you can get. Obviously, I think that's good because you don't want it that overpowered of a player. You know what I mean? For competition's sake. I mean, I'd obviously love my player to get 80 badges, but Juice tweeted, my player avoided contact with the defender after breaking his ankles. I like that a lot. That's a huge W. Last year, if you broke someone's ankles, that really, it added a highlight. But breaking someone's ankles, avoiding all that contact when they do break down, and being able to drive right past them or do a step back or get an open shot, I think that's obviously a major step in the right direction. Los tweeted, off-ball defense seems to be significantly easier to break down and blow by 2K20, which is such a good idea, y'all. Off-ball defense, at some points last year, especially if you have a good defender like a Magic Johnson in my team, was really difficult to get by, and it motivated a lot of people in the my team community to off-ball, which I'm not a fan of. Even if you're a shitty defender, I just think it takes away a lot of the competitive aspect of the game, and you're really taking 50% off the game going up against someone else online. And if you get like a Magic Johnson, if you get like a Gary Payton type player, someone that's a really good defender at the point guard position, all you have to do is just go to your center and have that dude freaking strip from the opponent. And that happened a lot last year, and that was a huge complaint. This is also a big one. You can now have female my players in park. So I'm really excited to see that. Could you imagine a female player who's like 6'3" with like a Zion dunk package and like posterizing like a 6'11" dude? I saw this one badge. It's called a high riser, where if you're a smaller player, you'll be able to finish at the rim easier, especially on bigger defenders. RJ tweeted, bro, you're gonna take forever to make your builds. You have to, like I said, same thing. Don't need VC. Gucci said, Mike's mad at me because I'm taking an hour on my build. Sorry guys, I'm taking in as much information as possible. This is dope. You have like 4 stages to go through. Compared to as last year, you really just had 1 when you were in the combine area, selecting what archetype, your height, your name, etc. Hank Tank said, dude, the My Player badge system in 2K20 is insane. He's geeking out right now. Gucci said, you basically get to choose your own takeover. I can be a shot creator with a sharp grand badge. That is just cheese right there. Takeover does seem OP this year. First look at the 2K20 My Player builder, photo taken through a microwave. Okay, so this is what it's kind of gonna look like, y'all. So you're gonna get the opportunity. What I'm guessing on the left is your strengths and weaknesses, in which you'll be able to max out on. Obviously, I don't know any detail behind that picture, and it is terrible quality. But Ice in My Veins badge, that God tier, shout out. Gucci said, not going to tweet too much, but I'll give you all playing the game. This major that I love. Uniqueness to the players. 2K Terry really put my ideas in the game. But yeah, pie chart will most likely show what build leads. 3-point athleticism. Here's what the main menu looks like, y'all. But I think that's most of the news. I think the pie chart's interesting, but that's gonna do it, y'all. Oh yeah, look at this video of speed. Look at this. He slowed down, and then look at this. Just blew right past him right there. If you get a slasher or like a playmaker type player, because there's no archetypes, if you get a player like that can be able to cheese like that in the fast or on the fast break, That's OP as hell. That's gonna do it, guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. Like I said, I am beyond excited for this game. Like, I have been obsessing about this for like a week, and now that the demo is 6 days away, I am beyond hyped. I am so hyped right now. But that's gonna do it, guys. This is bad because I'm thinking much more about this than the start of my senior year, which just started today. But what I love about this is that the microtransaction-oriented game that was 2K for the most amount of time for the recent years, or for the recent games, has seemed to be taken away. Like, they really want to make this as customizable as possible. They're letting you create as many players, as many archetypes as you want before the actual game comes out 2 weeks after the demo. That's why I think they gave us that much time between the demo and the full game this year. But there's still a lot of news to break down, guys. There's still a lot of news to come out about Park, my team, all of the above. That still hasn't been official news. We've just heard it from leaks, devs on Twitter, all of the above. Thank you guys so much for watching. All love to 2019. Make sure to leave a like, subscribe if you guys are new. Comment down if you guys are hyped for 2K20. We got a whole new setup. This is going to be hyped. This is going to be fucking amazing. Stay blessed, y'all. All love to 2019. If you're out this thing, y'all. Peace.